Welcome back, csc235 class or csc103 class, to our SpongeBob random image. It's EX7 for the 235 class. Might be a different exercise number. Might be like 19 or 20 or something like that for the csc103 class. But either way, we're going to do part 3. We're going to focus on our button this time. And I'm going to add a second button. So I'm going to go back up to my HTML. And here's a button. So I'm going to copy that. And I'm going to put it right, I guess I'll put it right next to the other button. And if you want a little space, you could do a non-breaking space. I'll put it after this one. It's just an ampersand, an NBSP, semicolon. That'll put a little space there if you need it more than one. And I'm going to also give this an ID. So I'm going to do ID equals, and then I'll put two quotes here in a space to kind of separate it from the on-click. And I'll just call it reset. So I'm going to give it an ID name of reset, and maybe I'll just put a BTN after it. No dashes. I'll just skip dashes for now. I'll call it reset BTN for reset button. And the function that it's going to run, now we didn't make the function yet, but we're just going to assume it's called reset. So I'm going to call a function reset, which is going to basically make everything go blank, is what that's really going to do. And it's not going to say display image, it's going to say reset. And there it is, there's our reset. And let's make our button a little bigger if we can. I'm just going to go here to button, and let's see if we can make our button a little bigger. We probably just need to make the size of the font a little bit bigger. I'm just going to do font size, and you don't have to do it like 120. I think sometimes even just doing like 100% will make it bigger. Let me just put in 100% because buttons are a little bit different than, and that looks a little bit better. You could put background colors, all kinds of stuff on here, but that looks a little better, a little easier to read right now. And I'll just do that for now. And that's all I need. So that takes care of both buttons. And what I'll do down here is we actually want the button to be, we don't want to see it initially. Now we could make CSS that makes the opacity nothing. We could kind of put a property there, but let's try doing it with JavaScript. So after my arrays here, and I'm just going to copy one of these to get me started. I'm going to copy this, and I'll put it, I have a space here. So the ID I just made is called reset button, BTN. That's the button. So I'm talking to this button. And I'm going to do style.opacity. And you know where I'm going next. How do I make that opacity nothing? I just set it to 0. And what that should do is it should hide the button. And there it goes. It hid the button. So now our button could display once we set it back to 1. And we're probably going to do that once we display our image. So once we display an image, then we want the reset button. So this sets it by default. So I can even put a little message here. You know, hides the button. And I could hide that, and I could highlight this and do command / or control / or control question mark, whatever you want to use. And I could make a comment there. That just tells me that this thing hides the button. And I'll even separate it a little more. And then I'm going to take this, I'll copy it, and to show the button, it'll be just as easy as just putting it here and putting this back to 1. So now it'll only come back once I display image. See, now if I display image, there's my button. Okay, so now I'm displaying my images. But now when I reset, I want all this stuff to go away. And to do that, remember, we already said we were going to have a reset function. Here it is, reset. Now we didn't make it yet, so you got to make it exactly like this. So we're going to make a reset function. So it's a brand new function down here. Function keyword reset with the parentheses. Put our little curly brackets so we don't forget them. And then all that's going to happen here is we don't have to generate any random numbers or anything. We're going to highlight all of these things, all 4. And we're going to put them here. And let's just see what we're going to do. If we don't want the images to display, I'm just going to put an empty string. And you might have to delete it first because it's going to want to put the quote around it. So delete it, then put the empty string. And I'm going to make all of these. So I don't know if we really need this one. I mean, if you wanted to reset it, you could do this. You could do black, I guess. But I don't think we really need this. So we'll see. And then also when you reset, we don't want the button because remember, you want to hide itself. So once you display image, if you reset, you don't want to see that button anymore, just like it did. See, it's already working. So that thing already works. So I guess I did it okay. So everything's going okay here. Now, and I don't think I need this. So if I just highlight this and comment it out using Control /, I think it should work the same. I'll save it. See, it's going to work the same if I reset. It goes back because it's generating a new color each time. So that black shouldn't matter. So maybe I'll just get rid of this. Why have a line of code there that I don't need? That's all it's going to do. So it's putting empty strings for both the picture. It's taking out the picture from being in that div. It's taking out that image tag. It's taking out the name that's showing up here in the H2, and it's putting its own opacity of its own button back to 0. So that's what it's doing when I click on the reset button. And there it is, the reset button. So remember, this one's display image, this one's reset button is the ID, reset is the function, and that's how it's making it go away. And if I save it one more time, that's how it works. Now, if I needed a little space here, what I think I could do, you could either put space before the div, or you could put a little space after the buttons. I think since I already have pick image here, I could actually make one for just pick. Or we already have button. Button's already here. Let me just see if I do no, it might do it inside the button. So let me just do it for pick. So I'm just going to highlight this and make another one. And now this is just for pick, not for image. So I'm going to wipe out image here. And it's just for the ID. It's just for the area. And I'm just going to put margin top. There we go. That's what we want. Margin top, because you want above there. I'm not sure why I was saying that. I was thinking below the button, but it's above the div. So that gives us a little bit more room there. So our display image button works fine. Our reset button works fine. Makes everything go away, and that's it. So that was just a little review of doing, the stuff we did in our JavaScript. We did variables that represent URLs that are not only a URL, but it's an entire image tag, image src tag that we're actually plugging into our HTML, and we used variables to represent them. Then we even put those variables in an array so we could kind of pluck out random ones by using a random number method. Our random number method is actually inside our display image function, so it generates a random number from 0 through 5. We round down using the math floor method, and then we basically use that to be the index number in each array. So we could do that for the images, the names, and colors. We even used colors to generate random colors and the random colors match up with the image and the names, so they always kind of match up. So there's only one random number, so they all match up in the order that they're supposed to be in. So we got 3 arrays. And then we just kind of made the button transparent, or we put the opacity down just with JavaScript. We could have done that with the CSS, but we did it with JavaScript. And we made one other function for resetting that hides itself, and it hides the other stuff. So it hides this, it hides that, and it hides itself. Those are those 3 lines of what they do. And then when we hit the button again, we also have a thing that brings the button back. It brings it back to 1. It kind of negates this one. So if it's 0 to start, the 1 brings it back. So then when we click this, it brings back the reset button, and we're all set. And we use some Google fonts in here. And again, just a review of the Google fonts, we basically pasted the import URL of the fonts we wanted in here, and then we specify the font in quotes. Google Fonts always kind of puts 1 quote on there, even if it's 1 word. So those are the Google fonts in there. It's using Bitter for here, it's using Bitter for here, and it's using Source Sans Pro for the paragraph here. I don't think it's using it for the button, but that's okay. So that's our EX7, that's our random SpongeBob image, and hopefully you had fun with that. You learned a lot about JavaScript by doing that exercise.